Got it?
Yep.
Okay, so we're working with truth tables that have P, Q's, and R's. So it shouldn't surprise anybody that we're going to start out with a P column, a Q column, and an R column. Kind of logical, isn't it? Let me just draw a line all the way across here because I've worked this one already and I almost want to take all that space. Now we're going to go down, like that. Now yesterday, when we only had P's and Q's, what were the four that we started with? True, true? False?
False, true,
False,
false,
true.
false.
False, false. And I think I told you yesterday, I picked the order, but those four don't come from magic or anything. They're just the only four possibilities. I mean, if two people tell you a story, they could both be telling the truth. One could be lying, one could be telling the truth. The other one could be lying, the other one could be telling the truth, or they both could be lying. I mean, that's just the only four things it can be. Ooh, but now it gets more complicated. Because when you get three people telling you a story, they can all three be telling the truth. Or the first two could be telling the truth, and the third one could be lying. Now, of course, it could be the first and third that are telling the truth, and the middle one's lying. Or you know what? The first one could be telling a lie, the other two could be true. And now that you mention it, that's only if there's two trues and one false, but these two could both be lying, and only one could be telling the truth. Or it could be the middle person that's telling the truth, or it could be the first. And then, of course, what's the last one? All big fat liars. So, we just learned something. When you have three variables, P, Q, and R, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possibilities. So with 2, there's 4. With 3, there's 8. So with 4, how many think there'd be?
12?
16. That happens every time. But we're never going to do 4 variables, but that's just what it would be. Okay, so we're going to use these 8, and we're going to build this truth table. So just like yesterday, somebody tell me what goes right there. Negation of P. And I'll write that down in just a second, but what's the next column after that going to be? Negation Q. Of course it is. Okay, how about negation R? No, we do not. Write my Q a little better there. We don't need a negation R because when you go up here and look at the problem, there is no negation. There's a negation P right there. There's a negation Q right there, but there is no negation R. Alright, so let's do the negation P column, which is really easy because you just flip it. So these three trues become 3 falses. And let's see, then it's 3 falses, so this becomes 3 trues. And then it ends true false, so this one ends false true. I mean, it's that easy. You just flip around. And negation means opposite truth value, so you just flip every truth value. So let's do the same thing with the Q column. It goes true, true. So we're going to start out false, false. And now it goes false, so we go true. True becomes false. False becomes true. Then it's true, false, false, so we're going to go false, true, true. Nothing to it. Okay, what goes next? The parenthesis. So the first parenthesis, I'll just write what's in the first parenthesis, I should say. Which is P, and what's this mean? Or, yeah, it's a disjunction, it's an or negation Q. So I want to use the P column, I'll put a dot above it, and the negation Q column, way over here. And I'm going to put them together with an or. Now I want to remind myself, or, because true and true is always true, false and false is always false, but if it's one of each, that's where it varies. And with or, one of each is true. So there's one right away. True and false is true. True and false is true. Okay, true and true, that's always true. False and false is always false. Now I'm back to one of each. A false and a true makes a false. Nope, a true I mean. Right? One of each. Here's false and false, so that's false. True, true is true. And false, true, one of each is true. Everybody with me? What's next? The other parentheses, right. Negation P or R. Disjunction R. Now let's see, now I want to use this one, I'll put a check mark this time. Negation P column, and I'm going to use the R. Oh, they're right next to each other. That's kind of nice. Negation P and R. Again, it's or, so one of each, like this first one of each is true. But two falses is false. Let's see, one of each is true. In fact, look, it's going to be true, 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 true. I got 4 trues in a row. Everybody see it? True, 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 true. I got to get the last two. Let's see, I got a false and a true. Went through that kind of fast, but are we good? Not too bad? Okay, oops, I need 2 more columns. If you know what's going on, you'll agree with me. I need 1 more column and then my final answer. What's my 1 more column?
It's false, that fewer.
Absolutely. Again, I need a negation out here, so I need to negate this one right here. So I'll just put a negation. I'll just write what I have there. P or negation Q. This is going to be easy because I'm just going to go to this column right here and just flip it. So it's true, 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 so I'm going to go false, false, false. See, I'm doing this one, so now it's true. And this one becomes false. This one becomes true. And then I end with 2 falses. I think I'm there. Now I just have to combine these 2. Here and here. Everybody agree? With an and. A conjunction goes in the middle. So, hardest part of this probably is to write them. Negation P. Whoops. There's a little parenthesis in there. Negation P or negation Q. And negation P or R. So that's these 2 columns with an and. Now I'm going to remind myself when it's and, 1 of each, like right off the bat here, we get 1 of each. That is false. 1 of each is false with an and. 2 falses is always false. 1 of each is false. But now we got 2 trues, so that's true. 1 of each is false. 2 trues is true. 2 falses is false, and 1 of each is false. And there's my answer right there. And there's my truth table for that big long thing up there. Any questions? Okay, so you should be able to follow that pattern now and go back and do, what is it, 4, 5, and 6, and just keep on going. Now, anybody need this? Can I take this away? Everybody good? Okay, if you go back and, if I can do this, move up a bit. There we go. Like 4. That's going to be much simpler. In fact, how many columns is that going to be?
5.
5. Yeah, because you're going to get your PQR to start with, the same 3 you always start with. Then you need the parenthesis, because you don't have any negations. And then you put it together. So it'll be 5 columns. Okay. And then they just steadily get a little bit harder. But we did the hardest one on the sheet, so we finish those for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to let you.